It's time to give a beginner's guide to the original Castlevania for the Nintendo Entertainment System, playable today through the Castlevania Anniversary Collection on all modern systems. That's how I've enjoyed it, and I hope to get myself an NES cart one day. But my goodness, before I got the hang of this game, I used to have a very hard time in NES Castlevania. I remember struggling with battles like the Death Battle, or getting to stage 4 and just falling in pit after pit. Well, with a couple of my tips today, you should be alright to clear through this game pretty easily, and if not so easily, at least more easily. Subscribe if you want to whip through games with beginner guides like this one, and or get some video game reviews / commentaries. I like video games, what can I say? Let's talk about this one. I want to start with the fundamentals. What are the fundamentals to NES Castlevania that you need to know? I think the first fundamental, if I'm just going very general, is to just keep moving. Simon walks, and he walks hard. He walks with a purpose and a passion. But the reason that I'm telling you to keep walking as Simon is because otherwise you'll get swamped. I think it's tempting to just stop and attack a bunch of enemies, but oftentimes if you just keep moving, you'll be able to move past a lot of these boundaries and obstacles, and that would otherwise either keep knocking you back, which is the most obnoxious part of NES Castlevania when you get knocked back into corners, and it just makes it so you don't take as much damage. There are very few opportunities to restore health in each level, but there are some, which is kind of fundamental number 2, is beating the wall. I could tell you where a couple locations are, or you could generally figure it out. I'll just say them really quickly. You can look away from the screen if you don't want this meat spoiled for you, but stage 3 has one right in the boss area. Stage 4 has meat right by this first bone dragon or second bone dragon, and stage 5 has one just before the bridge with Medusa heads and Axe Knights, all convenient locations, and the ones that you probably need to know the most. The others I think you can manage without, but those 3 definitely useful to know. General fundamental number 4 is to always keep the holy water unless you are on the Dracula stage, in which case you'll get it later. The reason you want the holy water is because it is, in fact, the GOAT of NES Castlevania. It is the greatest sub-item you could ask for. Not only does it do damage to bosses and freeze them, it also freezes common enemies, giving you more opportunities to hit them. I really like using them on the stationary bone dragons, so they'd stop firing at me. I like throwing them in midair and preventing a lot of the imps from attacking me. And the other reason it's the GOAT is because not only are the enemies frozen, but they become transparent and you can just walk through them. That is a huge, huge help, especially for the final Dracula battle. Fundamental number 4 is to use your sub-items, whether it is your GOAT or not, on candles. And the reason you do this is because every so often one of those candles will drop a multiplier for your sub-item. And you definitely are going to want multipliers for whatever sub-item you have, but especially holy water. Because when you have multiplier holy water, bosses are almost nothing. They are so easy to demolish, and it's kind of testament to get the holy water to the end because you would get it at the beginning of the stage anyway. It does make the death battle incredibly easier, but that battle is ridiculously hard anyway. You don't have to play that way. You could do a holy water less run, but even so, it would still be nice for you to have a multiplier on your sub-item like your crucifix or your axe for that battle. This is pretty much it for fundamentals. I want to now go into specific tricks that you can use to your advantage. So, stage 1 and 2 are cakewalks for the most part. There is one part of stage 2 that I want to give you a general suggestion for and apply it at your own risk, but when you are ascending one of the early sets of stairs and there's a couple Medusa heads that are tailing you down, jump in the air while the third one is approaching you and allow it to knock you onto the platform above and just walk through the door that's up there. Otherwise, you have to do this long stretch that has opportunities to die through pits or take damage through other enemies. I've taken that strategy once and I've never looked back. I rarely miss it. If this was such an advanced technique, I wouldn't recommend it, but I think this is something that most people can accomplish. Is it exploiting the game's jank? Absolutely. Do I care? Yes, I actually care because I want you to do it. I want you to save yourself the hassle. The game's already cruel. The game's already out to get you. Take advantage of the systems in place to get through the level. Stage 3 is honestly the level that gives me the hardest time. It's the mummy stage, and it's not the mummies themselves, it's the crows and the stationary bone dragons. So with the crows, one thing that I've noticed has been helpful is to do jumping leather whip attacks, and then you can usually get them before they drop down and start homing in on you. Otherwise, they become kind of unreachable if you try and wait for them, so I think it's better to be aggressive with the crows than to be defensive. With the bone dragons, I kind of recommend the opposite because they fire in kind of trolly locations. Like if you jump this bridge section towards the bone dragon and try and get the fireballs that it shoots at you, then you are more likely to get knocked back into the pit. So actually take your time. Their pattern is usually 2 fireballs, so attack both fireballs, jump over the edge, wait for the next 2, get those. You can even throw the holy water and run through it if you'd like. And you should be smooth sailing from there. Stage 4, this is definitely the area where you're going to want to take advantage of the just keep running Simon technique, especially with holy water. Never look back, never surrender, always destroy the imps in front of you, and if one is coming from behind, just throw a holy water in front of you and it'll usually take care of it. The reason is these guys will not stop spawning, so if you just keep walking through this section, they won't dogpile you and you'll be all right. You can even walk past one of the bone dragons and then freeze the other one and get past that as well. This is a pretty decent stage to just keep walking through. Be like Simon, walk hard. Stage 5, holy water, holy water, holy water, holy water. Oh my goodness. So this is super helpful, especially for the segment where you have the bridge, the Axe Knights, and the Medusa heads. Without it, this can be such a chore just even getting to death, especially unscathed. I really suggest having the holy water, throwing it at the Axe Knights. In general, this is just a great suggestion for Axe Knights because those guys will throw axes in difficult patterns, and so you can really do a number on them, especially when the Medusa heads are piling up as well, because they can come from both directions, and you can get to death pretty much unscathed. And then once you get to death, it's jump holy water, jump holy water, jump holy water with multiplier, and he is donezo's. Oh, that felt so good. Last specific technique is going to be for the Dracula battle, and this is a little tricky, so this is where it gets a bit more advanced. It's a hard battle, I'm not gonna lie. I don't get it first try every time. I would like to, but if you go ahead, get the crucifix, you throw it in the air. When he just appears, count 1 second, be like a quarter of the screen away from him, and then throw it. Try and get 2 jumps off and leather whips to the dome, and you can take about 4 damage to him. Try and catch it so you don't make the holy water drop, and then you can try and pile on the crucifix and the whips to the head. After that point, it's a waiting game, and try and predict where he's going to appear. Do not go to the corners of the screen because he will usually spawn on you and make it very hard to dodge his attacks. As far as dodging goes, you can either do a long jump dodge where you're far away from him, or you can be kind of close. Give it a second, jump in the air for the attack, and then he'll usually fire upwards and you can even attack some of those fireballs out of the way as well. For phase 2, you need that holy water. You don't really need it, but it's super helpful because it piles up with the leather whip damage for the jumps, and usually I take about 1 attack from him before I can get him, but if I'm not careful, he can get 3 or 4 hits on me. So the other thing is, walk through him. If you have to be quick about this though, you throw the holy water on him, and then you can walk through him as soon as he's kind of close to one corner, and you can get to the other side, and it will help protect you, Simon of the Belmonts. Hopefully these strategies are helpful for you. Let me know if it works for you in the comments below. Have a great day, everybody, and go ahead and slay some vampires.